We are standing at T minus one, just one day away from the India's Test match against Bangladesh starts, and I have Sahil Malhotra with me right now. Sahil, very interesting comments made by Gautam Gambhir as he just addressed the media in Chennai today. What are your views on his comments initially? First of all, I would like to pick your brain specifically on one thing that he said. He said that I've always been a believer of the style that wins. So, what do you think that style is that India is going to follow under his leadership as they've left the first test under his coaching leadership?
I think Bansal start of a very exciting period for the Indian cricket team. Gautam Gambhir, a tough character, a very aggressive individual.
Right,
Now, being a player of that sort of mentality is completely different, but the world hasn't really seen what Gambhir can do in the red ball format as a mentor, as a coach, right? Whatever has happened in
right,
the past, maybe for KKR, LSG, all those things, partially for Delhi Capitals, when he took up that player come mentor role midway through the season.
right,
All that was T20 cricket and white ball cricket, but red ball is a different ball game altogether. I think it tests you, it grinds you, it kind of exhausts you, and this is where Gambhir's coaching credentials will be put to test. He hasn't been a proper coach yet. This has been mentorship roles, and this is where coaching is actually required. You need to plan, you need to strategize. And he says that when he says that the best style is the one that wins, it shows that he's kind of very flexible in the way he's going to go about things. He's not going to follow a particular template, and that is the way to go about in Test cricket, because one session you are up, second session you are down. Just like अगर आप वो इंडिया
right,
इंग्लैंड वाली टेस्ट सीरीज देखेंगे, it was a test series where for the
right,
first two tests at least you saw a seesaw battle. Even in Rajkot, थर्ड मॉर्निंग तक मैच बहुत इवनली पॉइज था. रांची में फिर 100 लगा, आई थिंक जो रूट का, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. तो उसके बाद रांची टेस्ट के अंदर भी एक्साइटमेंट आया, फिर रेयर गार्ड एक्शन हुआ. सो टेस्ट क्रिकेट पेंडुलम की kind of keeps shifting. So as a coach you have to be open to everything. That is what Gambhir is trying to imply here, that he's going to be very open to
right,
anything and everything. और मजा आने वाला है.
right,
I think fasten your seat belts, because Gambhir era
right,
will finally get underway tomorrow. That's my
right,
reading of it. क्योंकि कल पता चलेगा
right, right.
कि दूध में पानी कितना है या दूध ही दूध है.
राइट, जब फर्स्ट सीरीज था उनका श्रीलंका के सामने, दैट वाज लाइक स्टॉप गैप काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग. बट अब जैसा आप बोल रहे हो, फाइनली द गंभीर एरा विल स्टार्ट. बट ही हैज मेड इट क्लियर, साहिल, दैट दिस इज अ कैप्टन्स टीम. It is always a
Yeah.
captain's team. So do you see him calling too many shots while the match is going on, or he will just give a general advice to the team, to the players, and leave the rest on Rohit Sharma?
No, I think most of it would be done by Rohit Sharma. That is how a team works, right? Most of it would be done by Rohit Sharma,
Right,
but there will be strategies, there will be discussions with the coaching staff during intervals, during lunch breaks, during tea breaks. So all those things will be taken into account. But real time, obviously, it's the captain's team, and I think a lot of coaches in the past have also said that. A lot of people said that after the prime minister, the most important person in the country is the captain of the India men's cricket team.
captain.
So
Right,
that's how it is, and that's how it is going to be. So no difference on that front, I'm sure. And it is Rohit's team, and the way Rohit wants to drive it forward, because the test transition will get underway. It's already underway with fresh faces in the middle order, new opening combination with Jaiswal
right,
and Rohit. Probably we'll see somewhere deeper into the season, we'll see a third opener auditioning, probably a Eastwaran or a Mayank Agarwal.
right.
So all those things will happen. But yes, captain, it's the captain's team, and the coach can only do so little from beyond the boundary rope. But his role remains important. His strategy तो ये लोग मिलके ही बनाएंगे.
Right,
But yes, it's the captain.
right. We'll talk about the playing combination, the playing 11 as well, Sahil. But before that, आपने बोला कि काफी मजा आने वाला है, गंभीर एरा शुरू हो रहा है तो. But there is one question lingering around the pitches, the kind of pitches and the way the batters have performed in India in last couple of years. जो हम देख रहे हैं कि averages सारे batters beat Indian batters beat overseas batters. The averages of batters scoring runs overall is decreasing in India. इंग्लैंड के सामने हमने देखा काफी इंटरेस्टिंग, काफी कॉम्पिटिटिव पिचेस थे, मैचेस एटलीस्ट फोर्थ डे तक जा रहे थे, कुछ कुछ फिफ्थ डे तक भी गए. डू यू सी a similar thing happening here against Bangladesh, like matches going to fourth and fifth day? Do you think that it will be largely one-sided?
No, it completely depends on how the opposition bats, right? Because you can decide
Right,
about the pitch only when both the teams have batted and bowled on it. So you can't make
Right.
like early predictions or notions about a strip. It's Chepauk, it's hot, it's humid, it's going to turn, it's going to bake under the sun. There'll be spin. There was spin even when India played that ODI World Cup opener against Australia. Low scoring game. It did a lot under lights when India was struggling at after losing a couple of wickets very early on, and then KL Rahul and Virat Kohli doing what they did. Now, I'm not mixing formats here, but I'm just trying to suggest that Chepauk is going to be a challenging wicket. It is going to take some turn. India England
Right.
was the last test match, I think, at this venue that Rohit Sharma 100, Ashwin Pfeiffer. Again, I think
Right.
Ashwin scored 100 also in that game. So you saw spin kind of playing a role there. Now, coming to what kind of pitches the management will use, I think India versus England Test series was a very good advertisement of how to prepare pitches for home Test matches. They were sporting.
Right.
They had something for the bowlers, something for the batters. For the first couple of days, batting was good. Then you saw some reverse going. We saw that in Rajkot, and Dharmshala again was good to start, but then after that Kuldeep and the spinners doing their magic. So I think those kind of wickets should be the way forward. You don't need minefields like Indore. You don't need pitches where
Right.
someone like a Todd Murphy becomes unplayable overnight, or Poonaman becoming unplayable overnight. I think quality players should be rewarded for quality efforts, and the pitch should not be a factor where a game is
Right.
decided
Right.
on the basis of the pitch. So it should be a sporting wicket, and I think India England pitches were the step in the right direction.
Right. Those pitches were quite like the standard, the benchmark that
Yeah,
should be. But गंभीर को ये चीज पूछी गई थी साहिल प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, और
yeah,
he said that there are times when matches end in 2 days time in South Africa as well. So no one asks this question when there are pace friendly conditions, but spin friendly conditions में ये होता है तो बहुत सवाल उठते हैं. So
yeah.
first thing, should we compare these Indian conditions with other conditions? And secondly, does this hint, because Gambhir has answered like this, does this hint that the pitches might be extremely spin friendly?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They should be spin friendly because you want your batters to be in good spirit before the border Gavaskar trophy,
Right.
right? आप उनको यहाँ पे अखाड़े पे खिला दोगे, हर मैच में से 20-20 25-25 रन लग रहे हैं. You can't expect them to score 100 in the first test of the BGT, right? You want them to be in
Right.
good headspace. So for that to happen, you need pitches like India England, where you saw Yashasvi Jaiswal getting those runs, Rohit Sharma getting those tough runs, Ravindra Jadeja making contributions, Dhruv Jurel, KL Rahul, all these guys chipped in with the bat. Shubman Gill again. So ऐसी सीरीज आपको फिर कॉन्फिडेंस देती है जब आप द लाइक्स ऑफ एंडरसन के अगेंस्ट जब आप रन करके आते हो. So you kind of Anderson, Mark Wood, Mark Wood was bowling a couple of spells. I still remember from that series. He was bowling at serious pace, यार. मतलब वो अच्छा बॉल फेंक
Right.
रहे थे. But Anderson was very, very economical in that series till the time Yashasvi Jaiswal just kind of took him apart on a couple of occasions. So all those things, यार, मतलब that confidence will help. That confidence helps. Spending time in the middle helps. And इंदौर मतलब विराट कोहली का 40 था बीजीटी के अंदर, एक दिल्ली के अंदर. It was as good as 100. Cheteshwar Pujara, I think, scored a 50 or a 60 in Indore. It was as good as a double 100 because those conditions were insane for batting. Yeah, you could see the puff of dust from the pitch, from the press box with the naked eye. So I think the good pitches are the ones that we saw in the Test series against England. Pitches like
Right.
Rajkot, pitches like Ranchi. Ranchi also wasn't that dangerous. It looked a very weird pitch, but वो कुछ ऐसा मार्स या कोई नेपट्यून या वीनस से नहीं आया था. It was a very sporting wicket where both the sides had their chances. So those pitches should be the way forward.
Right.
And yes, he's right. I think South Africa में जिस तरीके की pitches इंडिया को मिली थी, they were horrible, they were shoddy, they were dangerous, and spinning track में फिर आपको इतना नहीं होगा. आप जहाँ ऐसा invariable bounce वाला fast bowlers के लिए pitch बनाते हो, it's a serious risk for injuries. So I think
Right.
that comparison
Right.
shouldn't be made at all.
Okay. Very rightly said, Sahil. Now moving on to the playing 11, the team combination. Gambhir ने काफी almost confirm कर दिया there will be 3 spinners in the side, and he has also confirmed that Rishabh Pant will be playing ahead of someone like Dhruv Jurel. So how do you see Pant's comeback in this Test series?
I think very, very exciting, yeah. Kind of complete circle for him. The last time he played a test match, it was against the same opposition, Bangladesh, and who knew that that was probably the last time he's going to play for India for a good 1.5 year period, because I think uske baad uska accident hua when he was going to meet his mother in Roorkee, that late
Right.
night accident and that trauma which we all underwent, when we woke up to the news and horrific images of his car
Right.
crash and everything since then. It's being a very testing period for them, for him, for his family. And kudos to NCA, to Rishabh Pant himself, to everyone involved, all the stakeholders, for first getting him back on his feet, and then him achieving the unthinkable, unimaginable. I never thought he'll be back to the park so soon,
Right.
and then returning to Test cricket is a mind-boggling achievement. He featured in the Dilip Trophy, so the body underwent the grind under the sun of
Right.
5-day format, red ball format. He played the complete season of the IPL, played the T20 World Cup, made some very crucial contributions in the US leg. Didn't have good outings in West Indies, but I think US leg फंसी हुई विकेटों पे इसने अच्छे contributions किए थे. And then the
Right.
IPL, and then you saw him in those limited over series against Sri Lanka. So he has played a lot of cricket now, and makes sense because he has been India's top 3 match winners in Test cricket in the last 2-3 years. Difficult जगहों पे run करके आया है. और he's a left-hander, so he always gives you that option. So, and 3 spinners is the way forward. I think Siraj and Bumrah should be starting the first test. Let's see what happens in the second test. Rotation hota hai, kya hota hai. And I would prefer Kuldeep over
Right.
Akshar, because Jadeja, Kuldeep, and Ashwin will be my 3 spinners on any given day. Because if you're playing Pant, you don't really. I'm not saying Dhruv Durrell doesn't give you batting depth, but अगर आप पंत लेके जा ही रहे हो, और आज भी मैं वो इंटरव्यू सुन रहा था गंभीर और विराट कोहली का, वेयर विराट वाज मेंशनिंग हाउ
Virat
ही
Kohli.
kind of empowered his 5 batters and 1 keeper to do the job of scoring 350, 400 runs. And I think that has been a big mindset change in Indian cricket, because you no longer chase depth in batting. You look for, you know, out. You look for bowlers who give you 20 wickets, right? That's how test matches are won. And that's what India should do. And Kuldeep
Right.
can bat, Jadeja can bat, Ashwin can bat, Bumrah can bat. Bumrah probably, I think, has a world record, some sort of record to his name, right? When he took down Stuart Broad
Right.
in
And
that famous
most runs
thing.
in a single over in Test
Correct.
cricket.
So everyone can bat, and Siraj can also swing his bat. So no reason for
Siraj.
tinkering with. Yeah.
Right.
So
Siraj is kind of like
yeah.
the new Viv Richards for social media. So,
Yeah,
but
and KL Rahul above Sarfaraz Khan makes sense, at least for a couple of tests. Let's see how KL grows in confidence, because he looked good in South Africa till the time he got
right.
injured in the India England series. He had a crucial 80. Rohit Sharma has put his weight again behind him. I still remember the last time Rohit was asked a similar question. I think after the second test match against Australia, which India won before losing in Indore and drawing in Ahmedabad. So KL was dropped for the third
Right.
test. He lost out his vice captaincy. Shubman Gill came as an opener, scored 100 in the Ahmedabad,
Right.
a good 100 on a batting friendly surface. And since then, it's been KL Rahul को keeping करा दो, middle order पे ले आओ, अब ऊपर कर दो. But I think he needs some sort of clarity, and management has given him. So it's up to him now to kind of ensure that his body is in the right shape to feature in these 10 tests, and then make most of these 10 test matches, because that will help him get that extended run which he has long been chasing for, a consistent extended run in a similar kind of a role.
Rightly said, Sahil. We have quite a deep batting lineup there. At least नंबर 9 तक काफी अच्छी बैटिंग है हमारी, क्योंकि कुलदीप यादव भी
Yeah.
अब काफी अच्छी बैटिंग कर रहे हैं recent times में. But the one thing I want to highlight what Gambhir has said on Pant is that his batting overshadows his wicket keeping skills. So do you really think that that is the case? Does his batting overshadow his keeping?
Yeah, I think before we kind of close this session, Bansal, I think this is a very good note to end the show on, speaking about Rishabh Pant, that circle which we were just talking. And he's very right, Gambhir, when he says that. He's just trying to highlight the fact that Pant, the keeper, has been very, very valuable behind the stumps. At such a young age, the way he has matured. If you remember his first tour of England, he was all at sea. Oh, he couldn't counter the late swing, and he was struggling in English and moving conditions. But since then, he has worked very, very hard on his keeping, and he has kept on very difficult surfaces, turning surfaces, seaming surfaces, swinging surfaces. So he's been a very polished wicket keeper right now, a very effective wicket keeper. And I completely agree with what Gambhir said here, that his batting kind of overshadows his keeping, because no one really appreciates the amount of work he has put into his keeping. and it was his keeping which was a bigger question mark than his batting on the return from that accident. So he has aced all those tests and questions with flying colors, and good luck to him and everyone, because it promises to be a good series. Bangladesh riding high on confidence after beating Pakistan in Pakistan. So maza aane wala hai. Fasten up your seatbelts. GG era gets underway.
So that was Sahil Malhotra for you. Quite an interesting conversation we have had, and quite interesting comments that Gambhir has made ahead of the first test against Bangladesh as India gets set to face them in Chennai. So we'll bring you more updates from this India-Bangladesh series. We'll bring you all the updates from the world of cricket. Stay tuned to Cricket Next. We will be having an exclusive live show in the evening as well with our expert panel. So stay tuned to Cricket Next.